And then I realized, I was like, oh, people do this for fun at conventions, and it's not just like Renaissance garb. People just do this for any character they want. Hello everybody, and welcome to another week here on my channel. So this week I wanted to do something a little different. So I asked my followers on Instagram to ask me questions about cosplay, about life, anything. So I thought this week we would do a little Q&A. So I'm going to have my phone right here and be reading the questions from there, and let's get going. So the first question is, what do you think is the hardest part of cosplay? Probably the hardest part of cosplay for me personally is seeing something I really want to do, but then trying to figure out how to make it work in a budget. And whether that be trying to figure out how to do it yourself and it's something you've never done before, or trying to make a cosplay by thrifting. So basically it's the process of figuring out like, okay, I have this final product that I want to put out, how do I get there? And making kind of that game plan. I think that's probably one of the hardest parts. The next is, what is one of your dream characters to cosplay? Now, as you guys know me, I love my queens, I love my princesses and all of that. One of my dream cosplays to do is Mary, Queen of Scots from the CW show Reign. I love Adelaide Kane, I loved her in that show. And yes, it turned into kind of a teen drama, but I love my history. Even if it is very much dramatized, I enjoy seeing what they do with it. And I would love to do one of her, either her really big gowns, or one of my favorite dresses is her white lace one with her red flower crown. I will put a picture of that right here. I would love to one day be able to accomplish that. Next one is, what is the first thing you do when you decide to cosplay a character? So kind of as I said before, you get the hardest part done first, is making that game plan. I usually, once I figure out, okay, I want to do this, I make a game plan of, okay, am I going to make this? Is somebody else going to? And if there's multiple parts to it, it's, okay, who's going to make this? Like, for example, take my Sarah cosplay, for example. I will put that right here. So Sarah, I thrifted the skirt. I had a friend make the chainmail piece for me. I made the top with the help of Meg, and also hand cut out 25 feathers to put on her shoulder pieces. And then I'm currently revamping it, and Katie's helping me make the armor piece. So basically just having that game plan of, okay, who is going to do this? Where am I going to get this from? And then going from there. This one is, who else do you cosplay from Once Upon a Time? And who else would you cosplay from Once Upon a Time? And they say I seem to be the only other Once Upon a Time cosplayer around here. That is not true. I have a friend who also does Once Upon a Time. She does a really awesome Regina. But I do Snow White, I do Bandit Snow White and Ruby currently. But I would also love to one day do Emma. I love Emma's character, and maybe even one day throw Belle's blue dress in there. The next one is, when did you first start to cosplay? I started to cosplay back in, I want to say it was 2014. It was either 2014 or 2015. I went to a Renaissance fair with a bunch of my friends from college. I had always wanted to go to one, and I decided that it was going to be either go big or go home. So I bought my blue and dress, and I'm gonna put a picture here of when I first went to a Ren fair. That was before I like upgraded it and got a corset. And then over here I'm gonna put my second ever Ren fair picture when I like upgraded myself. There we go. It's now become a yearly tradition, and I love going to the Ren fair. I love going in costume. It just makes it so much more fun. And so I started cosplaying that way, and then I realized, I was like, oh, people do this for fun at conventions, and it's not just like Renaissance garb. People just do this for any character they want. And so I decided to do that, and I bought my Marjorie cosplay, which is my first like official cosplay, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. So the next one is, what was the first con you ever went to? So technicalities, I wasn't technically like a cosplayer, but the first real convention I ever went to was London Comic Con in 2012. So I was studying abroad in London at the time, and a bunch of friends of mine wanted to go to the London Comic Con. And I had never been to one, I had never experienced one, but I knew like if I wanted to get into cosplay, like that's kind of where it all happened. So I had two friends go as, it was a Disney Sailor Moon mashup. So one was Sailor Jasmine and the other was Sailor Snow White. And I went in my Renaissance Fair garb. So that was really cool. It was a fun experience to walk around and like see what a con is like for a first time. And it was absolutely massive. So I will say it was kind of like shocking to just walk in there, like have no idea what's going on and have it be like ginormous. But I will say it was really fun. The next one is my best con memory. So I have a lot of fun con memories, but I think one of my favorites is actually from London Comic Con. So they have, in the UK, they have a company that goes around that brings the actual Iron Throne to cons. It is absolutely massive, it's made out of real metal, and I don't know how they transport this thing, but it's absolutely crazy. And it was really cool, so I got to sit in it, I took a picture in it, I will put one of them right over here, and I also got to pose with the Baratheon crown and needle, so that was really cool. I got to wear those, and I will say the crown actually fit me very, very well, so I had to laugh. And I was in my Renaissance garb, so it made total sense. And it was super fun too, because I had the Game of Thrones theme song blasting in the background as I'm sitting there, so it was really, really cool. So I already kind of answered this, but it is, what is your absolute dream cosplay? And as I said, I would love to do Mary Queen of Scots, but I guess my dream cosplay, it's not really just a cosplay in general, it's a cosplay idea. I want to be able, my dream cosplay is a cosplay that is kind of complicated, but absolutely entirely made by me. I want to have that satisfaction of being able to make something in its entirety. Being able to make my own props, being able to make my own costume from fabric, not having to thrift it or do anything. I would love that satisfaction of one day being able to do that. So the next thing is jack of all trades and master of none, or master of one thing and only being kind of good at the rest. I think I would like to be a jack of all trades because I enjoy learning. I enjoy finding new ways to work things, so I think probably it'd be easier for me personally to be a jack of all trades. That way I can keep going, because I personally believe that you can never truly master anything. You will always be learning, you will always find a new way to improve your skills. So I don't really believe that anybody can be a true master of anything, because you never stop learning. And our last question is, what is your must-do thing at a con? So I very much enjoy meeting people. So my must-do thing at a con really is to meet all the internet friends that I've been talking to on Instagram or on TikTok or anywhere, just to, if I'm going to the same con as them, I want to meet them in person. I had a friend last year at Comic-Con who I had been talking to for a very long time. We call each other our cosplay twin because she also cosplays Anne Boleyn and Marjorie. So if you're watching this, hello Jess. But it was so nice to be able to like meet her in person and kind of fangirl together about like our shared fandoms, because you don't get a lot of people who cosplay the Tudors, and it makes me really happy that I got to meet her. Alright everyone, so that is it for this week's video. I will see you next week for another adventure. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any more questions for me to answer, please leave them down below in the comment section. I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. And they can be about anything. Cosplay, life, just don't be gross, because there are weirdos out there. Just don't be gross. That's my one condition. And do not forget to follow me on my social media pages. I have them linked down below, but I do have a Instagram, Facebook, and a TikTok. So you guys can go follow me on there and enjoy even more adventures. And I will see you next week, guys. Bye.